His comrades yell for him to move, but it's no use. The enemy's blade pierces through him. Blood splatters as the Manhwa sect master's sword cuts through the remaining members. He wanted to be strong no matter the cost. Now he yearns for a strength that endures. Before him stands Gujong Mayung, an elder of the Manhwa sect. Before death, Xiaohui's final thoughts are filled with regret. I could not survive. His regrets echo the words he once told himself. I came to become stronger. Coughing blood, he whispers, it's unfair, I don't want to die. If only he had better skills. Grasping his wounds, Xiaohui thinks, my circumstances were a bit better. He wonders, blading, if he is really going to die now. He hallucinates a strange screen. Xiaohui's eyes snap open and he gasps, awakening in a pool of water. Where is he? He reflects on a life of wasted potential, never mastering demonic arts. My life, he laments. Xiaohui clutches his head, screaming internally, my life really was a load of bullshit. Xiaohui breathes heavily, confused by his new surrounding. The bathhouse is not what he expects. Xiaohui looks around, bewildered. Here, my old training facility, he exclaims, recognizing the room. Xiaohui gasps, looking around with confusion. What happened? He wonders aloud. He remembers his death, the Manhwa elder. I was sure I had died. Echoing in his mind are the words Mantis, Lord of the Supreme Court. He clenches his fists, a newfound resolve hardening his gaze, ready to change his fate. A voice questions if the squad leader was stuck there, Juk Mayung. A gruff voice interrupts Xiaohui's thoughts. Direct unit, what is going on? The Supreme Court Black Moon squad member Chik-san confronts him. Xiaohui is shocked. The Black Moon squad member strikes. Xiaohui coughs blood, remembering his gruesome death. Chik-san sneers, admitting it was intentional. Oh, I'm so sorry, my hand slipped, he says. The stern face of Juk Mayung, captain of the Black Moon squad, is revealed. Coughing, Xiaohui realizes the pain in his gut is less important than this sudden shock. Juk Mayung looms over the injured Xiaohui. Xiaohui, on the ground, knows he has seen this before. Xiaohui braces himself. If I'm right, he's going to tell me. A dark aura seems to emanate from him. The words Supreme Court meeting echo in his mind. A voice calls him a brazen fool. Another voice asks, what is the matter? The gruff voice echoes, go. Xiaohui's body moves without him realizing, reacting on instinct. Chik-san speaks again. I'll give you some advice, you're really lucky. Xiaohui is confused. Xiaohui grits his teeth, thinking, Chik-san, that bastard. He realizes Chik-san has support. The bald man wishes Xiaolhui gets caught and killed. Just once, he says. The figures standing before Xiaolhui gain a life, it seems. What is above their heads? Xiaolhui trembles, experiencing goosebumps. Everything is going the way I remember, he thinks, starting to piece things together. A voice calls for flying faction squad leader Xiaolhui. He realizes he's back. His eyes sharpen as he realizes, right, the one who orchestrated my death. He now knows his enemy. A booming voice blames Xiaolhui for everything. He recognizes the voice of the Mantis, Lord of the Supreme Court. He announces himself, flying faction squad leader Xiaolhui, with a serious expression. Xiaolhui realizes, as expected, it's as I remember. The situation replays before his eyes. Xiaolhui sees the layout of the Demon Academy as if it's laid out before him. The panel describes the Demon Academy. It is comprised of 5 courts in total. The Lord of the Supreme Court is known for his awful personality, slaughtering those he dislikes. Xiaolhui can't trust him. Xiaolhui knows he has no choice but to follow the Mantis commands. Someone mentions Xiaolhui is powerful. As for his greeting, he states. He feebly apologizes for his impudence. Forgive me for my impertinence. Xiaolhui kneels before the Lord of the Supreme Court. I came to offer my salutations. An elder speaks, if you scold others as an interrogation, next time don't embarrass me. The Lord of the Supreme Court orders Xiaolhui to rise, a command he begrudgingly obeys. The Mantis taunts Xiaolhui, asking if he finds this exciting. Framing me as cunning, he ponders. The Mantis asks, do you have any thoughts about becoming the clerk of the Chin? The Mantis speaks slyly, because you have expressed interest in demonic arts, I took extra care. However, on the other hand, the Mantis has something up his sleeve again. The Lord of the Supreme Court says, I was thinking of giving you another mission well suited for you. He thinks he's just going to tell me to go to Manhwa sect. Xiaolhui stands firm, resolute, I will not, as he defies the Mantis. A looming feeling, die again, echoes in his mind. He declares, I have something I wish to say. Another blue screen appears. Xiaolhui's eyes widen, realizing another choice is upon him. This is. Xiaolhui gasps, lying on the floor. I can't move my body. Everything around Xiaolhui freezes. A feeling of dread and confusion fills him. What in the world? Xiaolhui thinks, surely this isn't a dream. I died once and went back in time. He watches the numbers tick down. Are these mathematical constants? Time. Another flash interrupts Xiaolhui. Overcoming his fear, he says, I wish to receive another order. He says, I wish to receive another order, despite the looming dread that overwhelms him. Horrified, Xiaolhui remembers his defiance. Fuck, what did I just say? The Mantis seems surprised by Xiaolhui's request. I did not give you any orders yet. The Mantis' rage is palpable. How impertinent, you dare ask for another order, he booms, his power filling the room. Xiaolhui is hit by an intense wave of bloodlust from the Lord of Supreme Court. Xiaolhui trembles. He's heard of this before, it's the power of demonic flame. The demonic flame takes physical form. Xiaolhui cries, I'm being bit on the neck. The Lord of the Supreme Court's fiery eyes burn into Xiaolhui's soul. I'm in big trouble. Xiaolhui thinks, if it's left like this, then the Mantis looms. Xiaolhui, now on the ground, struggles to comprehend the situation. Xiaolhui is mortally wounded, realizing he is in big trouble. Before him stands a terrifying elder. Xiaolhui desperately clutches at his wound, knowing this is the end. The elder is about to strike the final blow. Xiaolhui is confused as the screen flickers, displaying the word heavenly. Suddenly the screen shifts, revealing stage 2, and a stern voice yells stop. A sword is aimed at Xiaolhui, reflecting light, right before the screen changes. The enemy's sword pierces through him. Xiaolhui lets out a gasp of pain and confusion. He wonders where the attack came from, realizing he almost lost his neck. Clutching his neck, Xiaolhui realizes he barely dodged a fatal blow, shocked. I didn't even have time to react. Suddenly, the words, "the vassal who guards the Lord of the Supreme Court, Hyukbai," appear. Xiaohui is still trying to comprehend. Hyukbai is addressed by the Lord, "I will hear you out for now." The Lord of the Supreme Court asks Hyukbai if he wants to spare him. The Lord says, "I'll decide then." Xiaohui desperately pleads, crawling, "Please do not misunderstand." Xiaohui insists he wasn't trying to choose the order. The Lord asks what he wants. It's about Manhua's movements. Xiaohui thinks, "Mantis, in the end you'll only spare me if it suits you." The Lord's subordinate speaks, mentioning how eliminating Manhwa is their mission. Xiaohui shouts that he wishes to take the chance. Our flying assassin squad specializes in reconnaissance and surveillance. If you inform me of the professor's expedition, then I will. Desperate, Xiaohui declares he will readily join the operation to eliminate Manhwa. The Lord contemplates replying with whom. Xiaohui is desperate and begs, "Please, please approve it." The Lord believes there was a leak. A mere squad leader shouldn't know the rumor. The Lord looks down on Xiaohui, skeptical of this squad leader's information. The Lord remarks how amusing this is and assigns him something anyway. The vice principal will go for reconnaissance. The Lord tells Xiaohui to survey closely and report to the captain of the squad. Xiaohui shouts command as he gets assigned to work with the vice principal. The Lord says, "Then you may go." Xiaohui thinks, I lived." Xiaohui's eyes widen as the screen glitches. The word "again" appears. He is sent back to the Supreme Court. Above Xiaohui's head, numbers and information flash on the screen. 4 more lives, he wonders, bewildered. Xiaohui wakes up in a familiar place, confused by this recurring, strange dream. Xiaohui struggles to accept his situation. "It's unbelievable, but I have to believe it." He sees coin "one last chance" appear on the screen. What is happening to me? Xiaohui walks away after his meeting with the Lord, heading towards his assignment. Xiaohui scoffs internally, calling the Lord a shameless bastard. He realizes he was the only one who came forward. Xiaohui recalls his brutal death. "I was killed with nowhere to run." Xiaohui is surrounded by intense, wicked energy that he cannot conceal. He grits his teeth, knowing they'll sense it. Xiaohui is stabbed and bleeding out, thinking they will chase him till his death. Xiaohui is determined to change things, even if he were to do this or that. Xiaohui wonders if dying this time is unavoidable. Someone says he got an important order. The Lord chuckles, realizing Xiaohui heard everything. "Well, if you did, then whatever." Above him, the screen shows "one more life," plus 1 life with the smiling guard. Xiaohui walks away, red scarf flowing in the wind, determined to survive. Xiaohui faces a crucial choice: follow the Lord's order or defy it. His life hangs in the balance once again. The words "follow the order" and "go die" or appear ominously. Xiaohui's red eyes glare. A subordinate tells Xiaohui to look here. Xiaohui replies with, "What, do you have something to say?" Suddenly, a deep voice says, "I wanted to confirm something." Xiaohui turns in shock, asking what? Xiaohui, caught off guard, wonders what this new development could possibly mean. Suddenly, Xiaohui is interrupted by a sharp, echoing sound, accompanied by a rush of wind. Xiaohui hears a blade tearing through the air, questioning the incoming danger. Swords clash in a flurry of motion as the bald man attacks Xiaohui. The enemy's blade presses against Xiaohui's neck. "What do you think you're doing?" Hyukbai's blade is inches from Xiaohui's throat, poised to end his life in an instant. Suddenly, Hyukbai is injured. He weakly says, "URK," as blood gushes from his arm. Hyukbai remembers Xiaohui speaking out of turn. He wanted answers and to get stronger. Hyukbai is shocked, screaming that he couldn't find anything. What does this mean? The fight intensifies as swords clash. Hyukbai is not giving Xiaohui a break. Hyukbai's blade skill is Black Demon 7 Swords, a swift, dangerous technique. Xiaohui is stunned. Hyukbai is wounded. He stumbles back in shock, gasping, "URK." Hyukbai yells, "Crazy bastard, you think you'll be safe now?" Xiaohui's eyes glow red as he thinks, "Now, I don't care anymore." Xiaohui dodges, using the clash to his advantage, but Hyukbai won't give up. Xiaohui clashes with Hyukbai, their blades locked in a deadly struggle. He is frustrated. He did everything to survive only to be stopped. He has to find a way. Hyukbai screams in pain. Xiaohui yells out loud, "I will not die again." Xiaohui barely managed to block. He is now locked in a fierce duel. Xiaohui swiftly counterattacks. He isn't going to let this chance pass him by. Hyukbai is kneeling on the ground in pain, blood dripping, screaming in absolute agony. Hyukbai attacks at blinding speed. Will Xiaohui manage to survive this? Hyukbai stares in disbelief, seeing the words +1 life above Xiaohui's head. That. Xiaohui realizes that his life is his key to survival. He must use it. It must be that. The bald man Hyukbai falls backward, seemingly defeated, leaving Xiaohui standing. Hyukbai, defeated, warns, if Captain Juk Mayung finds out about this. As Hyukbai collapses, a fierce energy erupts, along with an ominous raven's cry. Blood splatters as Hyukbai falls, defeated at Xiaohui's feet. Another chance survived. Xiaohui lays on the ground, barely breathing, covered in blood and sweat. Hyukbai lies defeated, a pool of blood forming beneath him. The battle is seemingly over. Xiaohui stares at Hyukbai's lifeless body. I killed him, in the end. Xiaohui realizes he's at his limit, thinking, I can't, but his resolve is unwavering. Xiaohui, standing over Hyukbai's body, thinks with resolve, I can't go back now. Xiaohui looks up at the bare branches, signifying a shift in seasons. He is still alive. An intense burst of energy radiates outward after Hyukbai's defeat. What will happen next? Xiaohui is falling into water after defeating Hyukbai. Where will he end up this time? Xiaohui stands on the deck of a boat, looking forward, ready for what's next. Xiaohui, with newfound resolve, stares forward, ready to face his uncertain future. Hyukbai is dead and the words above Xiaohui's head disappear, but nothing changed within him. Reflection on the river, Xiaohui is now on the boat, ready to face his challenges. Xiaohui looks forward, a new screen emerges, it reads next stage. With a new chance granted, Xiaohui is reborn, ready to rewrite his destiny. Xiaohui and his squad navigate treacherous waters towards the Supreme Court meeting. Navigating the optimal place for discretion, the elder gives Xiaohui his orders. Survey them closely, he commands. Xiaohui's thoughts drift as he rides. Juk Mayung would have killed me anyway. Lost in thought, Xiaohui remembers how he was going to be betrayed anyway. The boat glides smoothly through the water, carrying Xiaohui and his squad to their destination. Xiaohui's eyes widen. It's still there, he thought, the second chance prompt visible. Xiaohui struggles to grasp the situation, but a voice demands his attention. Look here. The captain speaks, since the Manhwa sect is here, you must. The captain finishes, you must not move carelessly, return here after scouting. The captain warns Xiaohui's squad to be careful. What are you doing? Move, come follow me. The squad is suddenly ambushed. Xiaohui, now wary, watches the unfolding chaos. The ambush begins. He never had the chance to prepare for this. The forest explodes with action. He thinks back, reflecting how the ambush plays out differently this time. It's puzzling. Xiaohui wonders if this mission was the mantis's order or was he meant to die. We're going towards the right. Xiaohui barks, yes, what did you say? We are going down, move quickly. Xiaohui recalls the past, the Manhwa sect's ruthless attack, as if they knew we were coming. Hauling wood, Xiaohui laments, I didn't join the academy just for this. He's shocked. Does it mean that it's my second last chance? With the squad down, a hand suddenly signals for them to stop. They freeze in their tracks. In front of a towering pavilion, they anxiously whisper, what are you planning? Did someone see us? Xiaohui realizes, shit, at a time like this, the squad may doubt him. He says, I'll go inspect. Xiaohui, now near the building, assesses its purpose. This type is most likely a watch post. Xiaohui gulps, realizing the danger. If it's a swordmaster, I will likely die. Eyes peering through a window, Xiaohui whispers, please let there be no one in there. Xiaohui mutters, so there was no one there. He pauses, a thought forming in his mind. Xiaohui faces a dilemma, thinking, what do I do now? Should I get reinforcements? The squad members whisper about Xiaohui's strange behavior and wonder, squad leader. They think he is acting differently. He reflects on his squad's doubt again. This time there's only one choice. Xiaohui reads the words on the screen. What will you choose? He questions his future. Xiaohui is confused. I can't see, hear, or sense them. Time is running out. He must choose quickly but wonders, is the enemy even here? Whispers echo, squad leader Xiaohui. The members question Xiaohui's actions. He's growing anxious. Suddenly a voice rings out, come out now, and the squad are ambushed once more. They're surrounded. Xiaohui is shocked as he realizes, of course, how could they be here? A cold voice pierces the air, you're quite the capable fellow, aren't you? The squad is surrounded. Xiaohui steels himself, ready to face the ambush head-on. Xiaohui is caught off guard, shouting, how? A figure appears, the ultimate martial artist with immense strength. It's Guzhang Mayang, the ultimate swordsman and elder of the Manhwa sect, standing before them. Guzhang Mayang smirks. By the looks of it, it seems you recognize me. Xiaohui is stunned, recognizing the approaching figure. Guzhang Mayang, why is he here? Xiaohui grits his teeth, frustrated. We went far to a location with no orders. Xiaohui questions how they were discovered. Guzhang Mayang responds, surprised that they entered his patrol area. Xiaohui's blood runs cold. Just what is this, his patrol area, he wonders. Guzhang Mayang declares his attack. Guzhang Mayang's sword glows intensely. All you Demon Academy bastards. Guzhang Mayang lifts his blade as the surprised squad members prepare for battle. Oh, rings out. Guzhang Mayang's squad advances, swords ready, closing in on Xiaohui's group. With everything happening the same, Xiaohui believes he already knows this fate. Swords clash and men fall, but Xiaohui still clings to hope for something more in his life. Guzhang Mayang's overwhelming power surfaces. Xiaohui's inner voice screams, I don't want to die. Xiaohui is in pure despair, knowing he's failed. The screen reads, next stage. Xiaohui has a grim realization. His life would always end the same way. He accepts his fate, earlier or later he'll just die. But despite his resignation, a small ember of hope still flickered within him. He stares down the man who's about to kill him and screams, I don't want to die. The word retreat flashes before Xiaohui as a game prompt appears. It reads, Heavenly Demon Cultivation Simulation. The Black Moon Squad looks on in horror as a powerful force heads towards them. A scream pierces through the air. The Flying Assassin Squad jumps into action while Xiaohui grits his teeth in anticipation. Blades clash against the Flying Assassin Squad as the old man tusks in disapproval. Xiaohui is impaled by a red streak and collapses. He coughs up blood. The remaining members of the Flying Assassin Squad fall. Hyukbai's attack devastates all around him. Hyukbai's face is covered in blood as he surveys the scene. His red eyes glow with dark satisfaction. Hyukbai stands over the corpses of the Flying Assassin Squad. You're all so weak. He scoffs at the members of the Flying Assassins. No wonder, since the one you call leader is such an imbecile. Hyukbai scoffs, what else can I say? He looks down at Xiaohui with disdain. Xiaohui weakly reaches out. Hyukbai responds to Xiaohui, you knew we were coming, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Hyukbai clicks his tongue and finishes his thought, glaring down at the dying Xiaohui. About you. Hyukbai towers over Xiaohui, his expression filled with cold satisfaction. Hyukbai is enraged, demanding to know how Xiaohui anticipated their ambush. Xiaohui coughs blood, unable to answer the question. A thought flashes through Xiaohui's mind despite his injuries. How could they have known? Hyukbai explains that their ambush served two purposes. He warns Xiaohui to think carefully. Hyukbai remarks that Xiaohui has caught his eye as a demonic cultivator. Xiaohui replies with a confused, huh. Hyukbai laughs at Xiaohui's tears. A guy like you who can use demonic energy is crying. Hyukbai stands over Xiaohui, sword raised. Well, I'm thankful for you, I can now increase my skills. Hyukbai tells Xiaohui to die. The dying captain of Flying Assassin Squad begs for help. It's too unfair to die this way, Xiaohui thinks. He begs for one more chance to live. Guzhang Mayang comments on Xiaohui's capabilities. A screen shows his martial arts styles and stats. The game informs Xiaohui that his martial arts have two categories: Heavenly Demon Sword and 7 Black Demon Swords. Sialwi wonders if there's another way. The game gives him an answer. Sialwi closes his eyes tightly as the game begins to process his restart request. Sialwi wakes up in his room. He smiles bitterly, realizing his bad luck. Was I just really unlucky? Sialwi thinks, I wish there was another way for me to live. He can't accept things as they are now. Hyukbai's subordinates arrive only to find Sialwi missing. One of the men wonders where Sialwi could have gone. Sialwi thinks maybe it's because I already killed him once. The words above Chick-san's head disappear. If what Hyukbai says is true, then Sialwi has only one last chance. Sialwi arrives at the Supreme Court meeting. This is his last chance, hopefully. Sialwi clenches his fist, determined to survive this time no matter what. Sialwi, panting, races through the training grounds, desperate to survive this new beginning. The game screen appears again, telling him he only has one coin left. He pants, sweat dripping, knowing this next choice could be his last. What do I do now? He realizes enemies surround him, escape or victory seem impossible, but he vows to find a way forward. He takes a step forward, the sound echoing as he prepares for battle. Suddenly, a voice booms. Flying Assassin Squad leader Sial Hwi. He recognizes he must get orders from the Supreme Court. A game-like screen appears stating he's back before the Supreme Court meeting. There must be a hint here. Sialwi vows to stand his ground, no longer running. Elder states, that child is Sial Hwi. The elder smiles down at Sialwi, commenting, like a good kid. He wonders why things are different this time. The elder asks if he has thoughts about becoming the Chinil office clerk. Sialwi kneels, his determination is unwavering. He shouts, I do not leave the Supreme Court. An off-screen character yells, jealous someone like Sialwi wants such a position. The elder leans forward, his gaze intense. To be honest, I have something to say. For this moment, another game screen appears. I will follow any order. Sialwi realizes both options given previously will result in death. New option, cut off his arm. Sialwi declares, I will cut off my right arm. Is this the only way? Sialwi steels himself. As of right now, there's nothing better than this. The elder's shock shows, asking why this is happening. Sialwi acknowledges his fate. Sialwi remembers looking through the Lord of the Supreme Court's things. Killing me multiple times wouldn't be enough. Proclaiming he'll atone for his sins, Sialwi kneels before the Lord of the Supreme Court. You are. Mantis taps his fingers, much more amusing than I thought. Sialwi sees the sword on the floor, bracing himself for what comes next. Mantis commands, then do it. Sialwi reaches for the sword, knowing he only has one chance. Clutching the sword, Sialwi grits his teeth. I just have to do it once. Sialwi coughs up blood, regretting his actions. This is the only way. Sialwi screams in agony as blood spurts. An unseen force commands him to stop. An enraged voice shouts, there. Who dares interrupt Sialwi's attempt to change his fate? A blade strikes Sialwi down. He lays on the floor, defeated by the unseen force. Hyukbai stands over a bleeding Sialwi, his sword stained crimson. Fate has intervened once again. As Sialwi lies bleeding, he wonders, did she stop me from cutting it off? I did it. Hyukbai stands over Sialwi, a sinister aura surrounding her. Sialwi gasps, realizing he can't move his arm. The elder laughs, amused by Sialwi's antics. Another man agrees, he finds it amusing. Others comment how amusing Sialwi is. Now they question why he wanted the Chinil office before. As Sialwi lies bleeding, he remembers there were 3 choices. Go there. An unseen elder laughs, amused by Sialwi's failure. Sialwi thinks, the third option, that was my road to survival. Despite Hyukbai's interference, Sialwi is relieved. Within the options lies the path to survival. Sialwi stares ahead, remembering the laughter. I will never forget those 2 assholes. Sialwi, bleeding, looks toward the Supreme Court building. He must find a way to survive this deadly game. Standing before an official at the Chinil office, Sialwi answers his questions. I'm 27. Sialwi is reminded of his past. He served 8 years and was ranked 12th. An unknown figure comments, I never thought I would see a high ranker here at this shabby place. The official asks about Xiaohui's arm. Xiaohui replies vaguely, calling it an accident. Eyes glowing red, Xiaohui remembers the faces of those who mocked him. He plots his revenge. The official announces Xiaohui will work here and maintain the books. Wow. The words echo around Xiaohui, a grim warning. Proper organization is a must. The official is annoyed with Xiaohui's lack of response. Xiaohui quickly replies, "Ah, no, I do." The official explains the job, classifying books by size and type. The information is managed by the librarians. He dismisses the high-level books. Du Hong, if only there was a book to kill him. The game grants Xiaohui another life as he vows not to fail this time, even if I mess this up. Xiaohui hears the officials discussing his martial arts. He vows his next life will be different. The official looks down, a question mark floating above him. What is that sound? Xiaohui gets another chance, a +1 life appearing before him. He thinks that even if he fails, he'll get another. Xiaohui thinks his next life can be different and wonders about his martial arts skill. The secretary looks at him confused. Xiaohui's body is aching as he grits his teeth in pain. He lets out a groan. Xiaohui cautiously speaks to his superior, the secretary, about the new martial stage. Xiaohui wonders if he can win this fight with an injured arm. He looks up and wonders what's happening. The elder's palms strike lands, impacting Xiaohui with immense force. His body goes flying from the impact. Xiaohui spits and curses at the elder, wondering if he's insane. He falls onto the ground defeated. Xiaohui realizes the cut wasn't deep enough. His enemy scoffs, comparing him to Chick San. "You bastard," he curses. Hyukbai, thinking the fight is over, gets stabbed by Xiaohui. The longer I wait, the worse it gets. Xiaohui is struck, his right arm unable to move properly. The blade clatters to the ground. Xiaohui lies defeated and cries out in pain, a sword falling towards him. Hyukbai screams, the blade piercing through him. He can't believe this happened to him. Xiaohui is full of despair. Tears stream down his face in defeat after his grueling battle. Hyukbai lies in a pool of his own blood. His body is still, confirming the end of the battle. Despite his recent victory, Xiaohui thinks that in his current state he can't guarantee anything. Another asks what's wrong. The man smiles, telling Xiaohui to say something. He hands him some coins and looks forward to working together. The man gives Xiaohui coins. It's not much but conveys my sincerity. The man smiles and says, "You're quite a sociable person." He continues, "Just ask." The man confirms Xiaohui's identity. Do not stand out if you want to live long. Xiaohui realizes that the place is full of monsters. He vows to leave and get revenge. Xiaohui, surrounded by books, realizes he must live. What must I do to win against Du Hong? Xiaohui sighs, surrounded by piles of books. Even after hours of organizing, there are still so many. Xiaohui, holding a book, is taken aback by what he just read. What is this? XX core. Xiaohui reads that XX means to flow and core means deep. He wonders what it's really saying. Xiaohui mutters, "It is deep indeed," before another question pops up on the screen. Xiaohui is shocked to see another prompt. What kind of martial arts skill would you like to master? Xiaohui looks at the book and is confused. 3 Primary Excellences textbook. Xiaohui is in disbelief at these martial arts skills before him. Elsewhere, martial arts are being convened. Xiaohui is happy he found the book and laughs. Ha ha ha, I found the book. Xiaohui is distraught, the martial art is locked. He's told he can't master it because of his injury. Damn. Xiaohui is relieved there are other options as he selects white fluorescent martial arts. Xiaohui declares he won't hold back now that he has sword skills. He's ready for a demonstration. Xiaohui is surprised and asks, "A demonstration?" A dark figure materializes before him. Xiaohui looks up, spotting a menacing shadow and wondering what it is. The demonstration begins. The shadow's movements show the white frost and breathing techniques. The demonstration vividly shows every single movement of the white fluorescent martial arts. Xiaohui sees the name of the technique and the command inputs for the new skill. Xiaohui notices there's a great ship sword under the new skill. He wonders what a sword means. Xiaohui now has an opportunity to try again, holding onto his sword. Xiaohui, while confused, vows to take advantage for revenge. The dark figure holds a sword. Xiaohui, determined to survive, has someone specific in mind. Chenil Office Secretary Du Hong. Xiaohui, empowered, declares I can win as he faces the shadowy figure. Xiaohui is now facing a new enemy, a shadowy figure with a sword. Xiaohui is in the Chenil library. He can hear the distinct sound of snapping books from somewhere inside. Suddenly, the source of the noise is revealed. A giant rat stares menacingly. But before Xiaohui can react, the giant rat is sliced in two with a glowing blade. Haha, white fluorescent martial arts. He looks down at the remains of the rat, muttering about the power used. Xiaohui raises his glowing sword once again, sweat dripping from his face. Another one, he's clearly struggling in the Chenil library. The screen indicates that 1 month has passed within the Chenil library. Xiaohui is much stronger now. Xiaohui grunts as he clenches his fist, more determined than ever. Hup. Xiaohui faces multiple opponents, seemingly clones of himself in the library. Xiaohui launches a powerful attack, energy crackling around his fists in the Chenil library. Xiaohui throws a flurry of punches. He won't let these clones stand in his way. He recalls that mastering swordsmanship made combat and footwork easier, but no matter what I did. Xiaohui thinks carefully about the great ship sword technique. How can he master it? But through an unexpected fate, he has acquired something he never once had. A chilling laugh echoes in the library, followed by a moment of silence. I'll clean this up just in case. Xiaohui sighs, this is so boring it doesn't end. Xiaohui picks up a book. Maybe I'll read this basic skills book. Suddenly he sees a figure approaching him. Oh, someone's here. Xiaohui is taken aback by the person's appearance. What's wrong? There's no way. The figure warns Xiaohui to not stand out if he wants to live long. A tall figure stands before Xiaohui, towering over him. And nothing, sir. The tall figure chuckles, waving off HWI politeness. Anyway, what should I call you? The figure introduces himself as Xiao HWI. A new objective appears. Hyukbai, who guards Simagui, has 4 lives. The figure pauses, then addresses Xiaohui by name. He wonders why he's here. The tall figure smiles. So you were organizing, you can ask me anything. Xiaohui is shocked. He holds the book tightly, dripping with sweat and anxiety. Xiaohui stares in disbelief at the book in his hands, his eyes wide with shock. What? He reads the text in front of him, options flashing before his eyes. This again. Xiaohui grits his teeth, feeling the pressure. All right, get yourself together. His life depends on his next decision. He is conflicted. 2 choices appear and he's struggling to decide what to do. Xiaohui's mind races, feeling the weight of his impending decision. I'm going insane. Xiaohui chooses the best option from the book, hoping for a good outcome. I'll choose the least terrible one. Xiaohui lies to the figure about the book, sweating nervously. Has he made a mistake? Xiaohui's heart races as he ponders the possible ramifications. Did I? Xiaohui wonders where he has left the book, then whispers, did it work? But just in case something happened, the figure offers to help Xiaohui look for it. The tall figure smiles knowingly. Is he aware of Xiaohui's lie? This could be very bad. Xiaohui is shocked to see the tall figure has returned. Xiaohui suddenly realizes where he left the book. But now panic sets in. Where could it be? Xiaohui grits his teeth, preparing himself for what's about to come. He knows something is amiss. The tall figure's words echo ominously. You are holding it. The situation is dire. Xiaohui is sweating profusely, clutching the book tightly in his hands. Xiaohui's face is shown close up, sweat dripping. Was I caught? Xiaohui remembers where he left a book. He looks around frantically, only to realize it's missing. Where is it? He feels a whoosh of air as someone approaches behind him. Is someone there? A stern voice booms, you are holding it, chilling him to the bone. He stutters, I. He looks down, realizing he's holding the book. Fear creeps up his spine. Sialwi's eyes widen in panic, a cold sweat forming. Was I caught? An imposing figure steps forward, his face set in a determined glare. Defeated, Sialwi stares blankly, a tear runs down his face. Where did I go wrong? He is shocked, his thoughts echo, what's happening? Everything blurs around him. Sialwi wonders, is this going to happen again? Running is not an option. He hesitates, lost for words. It seems his worst nightmare is coming true again. The elder scoffs, unimpressed by Sialwi's fear. Is he a disappointment? The elder laughs, haha. A nervous Sialwi wonders what's happening. The elder adds, I'm just joking. The elder smirks, stating it was a joke. Confused, Sialwi questions what he just heard, huh? The elder questions if he is new. The man introduces himself as Bu Il-gi, nice to meet you. He mentions that he'll go look at books. Sialwi thinks the elder's laugh seemed fake, wondering if he was being sincere or not. Just who? The book Sialwi was looking for has been eaten by rats. Is he, me? Bu Il-gi, who was quietly browsing, asks Sialwi if he came here by recommendation of the Supreme Court. Bu Il-gi continues, yes, that's how I ended up here. He seems deep in thought. Sialwi replies, no, he treats me well. Bu Il-gi follows up, oh, so he treated you well. He asks if it's useless. Startled, Sialwi wonders if Bu Il-gi recognizes him. He apologizes, claiming he didn't mean to check up on him. Bu Il-gi continues, he was curious about the identity of the new scribe. Bu Il-gi says, at least it wasn't your neck. He continues to berate him about learning martial arts here. Sialwi's inner thoughts race, figuring out the man in front of him. He must be powerful. Bu Il-gi interrupts Sialwi and asks, who among the younger folk can call the Lord, old geezer I mean. Sialwi seems very nervous, what's going on, what's with this guy? Sialwi is confused, is he using some kind of martial art? So tell me. He looms over Sialwi, demanding to know, how much of it have you mastered? Sialwi panics, just what is this bastard planning, do I know something? Bu Il-gi responds, is that so, while Sialwi thinks of his weakness. I can't use my right arm. Bu Il-gi puts a hand on Sialwi's shoulder, smiling. There's no need for you to be so serious. Bu Il-gi declares, but in the case that what you say is false. He adds, you would have deceived me. Bu Il-gi says, now then, seemingly beginning to test him. Sialwi is sweating and shaking. Bu Il-gi encourages Sialwi to continue to work hard. He walks away, leaving Sialwi bewildered. Heaving a sigh of relief, Sialwi mutters, I thought my heart was going to explode. His confusion returns, why? A voice echoes in Sialwi's head, confused. Isn't he leaving? Sialwi looks puzzled. Suddenly, a prompt appears before him, offering different choices to explain the situation. He recalls rumors of the Earth Demon, ranked 30th in the Demon Academy. The imposing figure of Bu Il-gi towers over a nervous Sialwi, described as a monster. The new title card appears before Sialwi. He's still nervous, realizing the situation might be more complex. Bu Il-gi studies Sialwi, his expression inscrutable. He mutters to himself, not bad. Sialwi is shocked and Bu Il-gi says, I don't know how you know. Bu Il-gi amidst a power struggle, what does he really know? Sialwi, still on the floor, breathes a sigh of relief. I did it, thank God that was the right choice. He thinks this would be the worst-case scenario. Well, it's no matter to me. Bu Il-gi says, continue what you were doing. Sialwi can only respond with a quiet ha. With a thud, Sialwi falls back as the energy knocks him off balance. Sialwi collapses, overwhelmed by the force. Above, Bu Il-gi's eyes glint dangerously as he walks away. Just why? Sialwi is panicked and wonders why the system prompt keeps appearing. Does this keep popping up? He remembers making a choice earlier, now he thinks he has to do it all again. Erg. Bu Il-gi wonders aloud, is that so? Sialwi is still on the floor, watching him walk away. Bu Il-gi says, then that means you have deceived me. Sialwi is scared by his words. A voice coldly asks, do you have a death wish? Xiaohui's face is filled with terror as he realizes he's in immense danger. Before Xiaohui can react, a choice prompt appears before him once again. He's being forced to choose. Bu Il-gui turns away, a sharp sword glinting menacingly as he walks into the shadows. Another system prompt appears, but this time the option is different. The figure processes the information given to him. The figure realizes he has been deceived. The approaching enemy asks, "Do you have a death wish?" The swordsman grips his luminous blade, ready to strike down the protagonist. He can choose a new path. This time he will be stronger. Xiaohui accepts the terms and the game begins. Can he really change his fate? The title card appears, Heavenly Demon Cultivation, signaling the start of his new life. It's stage 9 and options are presented to Xiaohui, a choice to be made. The imposing figure looms over him, a silent presence filled with unknown intent. He realizes he's not making a choice at all. The system is forcing him to act. The timer rapidly decreases. Xiaohui realizes this choice is different than before. A countdown appears, 471. Xiaohui realizes this time is all the time he has. Given time, he believes he can find a way. One obstacle remains. He knows this question holds the key. He hopes he can figure it out in time. He needs to think, but time is running out. A hostile presence approaches. With only 299 seconds left, Xiaohui desperately seeks a way to convince him. Xiaohui is trying to keep calm, but his mind is reeling, openly hostile. The character reflects on his situation. He speaks of being forced out amidst a power struggle. He reflects on their shared past, understanding their similar situations. He could be his strength. A voice bellows, "Guzhang Mayang." The elder of Mount Hua explains the benefits. Guzhang Mayang is surprised by Xiaohui's answer. "How did you know?" Elder Guzhang Mayang sits, contemplating Xiaohui's impossible knowledge. His eyes glow with an unknown intent. Xiaohui thinks this is it. He desperately hopes his gamble with Guzhang Mayang works. Xiaohui's choice is registered by the system. The scenario will now resume. Guzhang Mayang looks down at Xiaohui with surprise, sword at the ready. "What?" Guzhang Mayang demands, "What did you just say?" Xiaohui is labeled as the Earth Demon. Guzhang Mayang states to close the gap. His decision will affect the other disciples. Guzhang Mayang states his position. He is trying to garner the support of other like-minded disciples. He demands an answer. Guzhang Mayang demands to know what Xiaohui is implying with his words. He is certain his words will be the key to changing the future. The system intervenes, forcing his choice of leader. His words cause Guzhang Mayang to pause, realization slowly dawning on him. Xiaohui's eyes are changing. The Supreme Court is the heart of the Red Demon's power. Securing it would be an invaluable asset. Guzhang Mayang makes a proposal. Occupying the Red Demon's power is now within reach. Guzhang Mayang asks if the Earth Demon is looking for the 3 primary excellences. Guzhang Mayang states if Xiaohui found it, he would already be gone. He was thinking. Guzhang Mayang is incredulous, asking why Xiaohui of all people is trying to speak with him. Xiaohui has an epiphany. Guzhang Mayang figures out Xiaohui's intention. "You want to know the mantis weakness?" Guzhang Mayang asks Xiaohui why he thinks that way. He clarifies the mission of the Flying Assassin Squad. Xiaohui remembers it's been a month since he was at the Chinil Library. A coincidence. Guzhang Mayang thinks that if Xiaohui repeated the past, everyone would have died. Xiaohui internally deduces that Guzhang Mayang thinks of him as unusual. He has another goal. Guzhang Mayang laughs, finding Xiaohui's attempts to manipulate him amusing. Guzhang Mayang smirks, questioning if Xiaohui is able to reveal the mantis weakness. Xiaohui confirms it with a confident nod. Guzhang Mayang, looking impatient, demands to know what Xiaohui is thinking. He needs to know now. Guzhang Mayang wonders if his previous words were just empty promises. Guzhang Mayang remains silent, his expression unreadable as he considers Xiaohui's response. What is going through his head? Guzhang Mayang shouts, "What?" completely stunned by Xiaohui's prior actions. Xiaohui realizes he risked everything. Xiaohui declares he will obtain anything he can. Gujong Mayung asks if his life is worth much. He already knows the answer. Gujong Mayung says that if his information saves Xiaohui time and effort, that's enough of a price. Xiaohui agrees to the deal. Gujong Mayung remains silent for a moment. Then he sighs, contemplating his next move. Xiaohui hears fine. If the information is accurate, he will receive an equal reward. He realizes then the Lord of the Supreme Court's weakness is the Mount Hua sex elder, Gujong Mayung. He feels a sudden wave of dread wash over him. What has he done? Gujong Mayung pauses, then demands, "And your evidence?" He knows the Supreme Court's Lord won't leave evidence. Gujong Mayung asks if it is an assumption. He thinks that it may be important to the Earth Demon. Gujong Mayung asks if he doesn't have evidence besides the assumption. Can he make it? Among them is someone who can reveal the truth of the case. Gujong Mayung smiles. He believes that he will be rewarded. It is quite possible. Xiaohui hopes that he didn't make a bad choice. Gujong Mayung asks for his name. Gujong Mayung mutters, "Xiao Hwi huh." He decides to confirm something before proceeding. "Before I do that." Gujong Mayung pauses before stating, "There is one thing I need you to do for me." Xiaohui urgently asks what it is. The enemy shouts for Xiaohui's death. Gujong Mayung has made a decision. He must act. Gujong Mayung is surprised Xiaohui declines and requests verification, believing he is a spy. Gujong Mayung asks if Xiaohui can complete his task. He questions the spy's ability. Xiaohui stands determined despite the looming threats. "It's something I must do." Xiaohui grits his teeth, declaring he'll become the leader of the assassins. The game continues. The enemy's gaze pierces through Xiaohui, a promise of death. "I will kill him." Xiaohui is exhausted but determined. His journey is far from over. Next stage. Before the chapter begins, the author clarifies details from the previous chapters. A tall pagoda stands as an assassin draws his sword, ready for an attack. The tension rises. The assassin stands ready, clutching his scarf. He prepares to face what dangers are to come. Xiaohui kneels as someone tells him that they will wait on the 12th floor. The elder states, "Kill Juk Mayung, then come find me." Xiaohui's face is filled with a mix of fear and determination. Xiaohui scoffs at the elder's words. "Earth Demon, you probably think that I can't kill Juk Mayung." Xiaohui sees his skills, shadowless spirit martial arts and clouded retreating step. He thinks he needs to find a way to win. Xiaohui walks slowly into a new area, contemplating a question. When does a person relax? He sees a small shed with a sign that reads, "Hua Jiang Shil," when one takes a shit. He stares at the small building, thinking about what it would be like. Xiaohui remembers the endless beatings. How will he kill Juk Mayung? Xiaohui realizes that bastard takes long shits. He decides to hide where Juk Mayung's guard is down. Xiaohui braces himself. "I will crawl into the toilet and strike." Xiaohui says, "I'll tolerate it. I'll survive no matter what, I'll live." Mayung whispers to himself, "He's here. Juk Mayung always comes on schedule." Juk Xiaohui walks confident that he is safe, just as I expected. With a loud thud, Xiaohui crashes through the ceiling of the outhouse. Juk Mayung falls from the ceiling. Xiaohui hides as Juk Mayung lands. Juk Mayung clears his throat, while Xiaohui prepares to attack with his sword. He steels himself for his sneak attack, just once. Xiaohui screams now as he attacks with his sword. His desperation fuels his strike. But then Xiaohui realizes it was a trap as white flowers fall around him. Oh fuck. Xiaohui coughs and chokes, unsure of where Juk Mayung is now. Xiaohui flies through the air amidst energy streaks. Has his attack failed? A game notification pops up. You have equipped the great ship sword. A notification pops up telling Xiaohui he has a perfect opportunity to attack. What? Juk Mayung is on the ground. Xiaohui looks down and thinks, huh. Juk Mayung is revealed above Xiaohui. Juk Mayung is using some kind of technique. The camera shows the Hua Jiang Shil. What will come of this? The Hua Jiang Shil explodes upwards, torn apart by an unseen force. What power is this? Juk Myung is struck, yelling in pain. Did Xiaohui's risky plan actually work? Juk Myung screams, blood spurting from his mouth. A game notification states that Xiaohui inflicted 1,404 damage points. Xiaohui stares at the great ship sword in shock. What kind of power is this? Juk Myung lies on the ground, defeated. His health is completely depleted. Is he finally dead? Juk, beaten and exhausted, regains his composure near a small pond. He must keep fighting. Xiaohui is now waist-deep in a body of water. He is given 3 coins, his third chance. Xiaohui sits catching his breath and begins to laugh. Ha ha ha, he's alive, but what now? Xiaohui thinks, great ship sword, how did I use it? Xiaohui's eyes gleam. If I can use that power without restrictions. Xiaohui sits up, body battered and bruised. He's clearly in pain and exhausted. Xiaohui stares at his right arm, lamenting, but I lost my right arm. The panel reads then, it shows Xiaohui's face. His eyes show a fierce determination and sorrow. Xiaohui thinks about his next life. Should he trust the Earth Demon? Xiaohui thinks, I can't grasp his intent. He regains his footing, ready to find out Juk Myung's plan. The text on the panel shows the scribe of Chenil Library. Xiaohui lies on the ground as the Lord of the Supreme Court arrives. The Lord of the Supreme Court looks down at Xiaohui, asking, have you gone insane? The Lord of the Supreme Court scolds Xiaohui for intruding. How dare you set foot in my study, you reek. Xiaohui thinks, I had no other option. The Lord of the Supreme Court asks him what he means. Xiaohui's face is grim. The Lord of the Supreme Court thinks, red energy emanates from his feet. What does he plan to do? The Lord of the Supreme Court says, I'm curious how you killed him, but before that, he struggles to breathe. Gasping for air, the Lord of the Supreme Court asks Xiaohui, who did you meet? The Lord of the Supreme Court grabs Xiaohui by the hair. What does that? Xiaohui exclaims in pain and confusion. The Lord of the Supreme Court furiously warns Xiaohui, don't you roll your eyes, you're dead. Xiaohui says, rather than who I met, isn't it important I'm hiding something? The Lord demands, what did you say? The Lord of the Supreme Court grabs Xiaohui's face. It looks like you've gone insane since you went to the library. Xiaohui asks if the Lord of the Supreme Court wishes him dead. The Lord of the Supreme Court thinks, the one who sent me here, what is his plan? The Lord of the Supreme Court puts his hand towards Xiaohui. I understand why you killed Juk Myung. He pauses. All right then, what does the disciple want to know? The Lord of the Supreme Court demands to know about Xiaohui's connection with Gu Zhang Myung. The comic says interaction with another faction is treason. The Lord of the Supreme Court faces away, deep in thought. The Lord of the Supreme Court asks if the disciple really asked that. Xiaohui affirms. The Lord of the Supreme Court asks when and where they will meet again. Was that not effective enough? The Lord of the Supreme Court says that the Earth Demon has been thinking for a while. He wants honesty. The next panel reads, Yellow Mountain. Has Xiaohui traveled to Mount Hua? The Lord of the Supreme Court reveals they will meet at Yellow Mountain next month. He took the bait. Xiaohui sees a blue notification on the floor and wonders what it is. There's nothing there. The notification reveals the Lord's secret map. It contains the route to Yellow Mountain, so it's capable of stuff like this. The game grants Xiaohui a toolbox, medicine, food, and the secret map. What are these things? The Lord demands, when did the fourth disciple teach you demonic arts? The Lord of the Supreme Court presses, when did you meet? Xiaohui replies, I met him when I arrived at Chenil Library. The Lord replies, oh, is that so? The Lord of the Supreme Court says, it hasn't been long, but he taught you demonic arts. The Lord of the Supreme Court's foot hovers over Xiaohui, who responds, yes. The Lord of the Supreme Court is struck with a fatal blow. Blood splatters as Xiaohui watches, barely alive. The Lord of the Supreme Court is furious, yelling, you son of a bitch. Xiaohui coughs up blood, wondering why he was born, why he is there dying for nothing. He wonders, why do I want to get stronger? Everything started with why. The game prompts a new question, shifting focus. Why stand behind the strong? The Manhwa master asks Sialwi if he has lost. Sialwi coughs, weakened. The Manhwa master never teaches his martial arts. He uses only those passed down by his headmaster. Sialwi weakly laughs at the Manhwa master, calling him a fucking bastard as he struggles for life. The Manhwa master asks if Sialwi doesn't know something, then questions, what? The Manhwa master says Sialwi really doesn't know. He closes his eyes. You lost. The Manhwa master's eyes glow red as he asks to me. Sialwi is overcome, blood sprays as his vision blurs, a screen pops up, you have restarted. Sialwi awakens, shirtless on a bed. He's back in his younger body, seemingly before the massacre. Sialwi thinks I came back. He clenches his fists, looking down at his hands, a new resolve forming. He examines his arm, surprised to see it's healed. I only have 2 lives left. A status screen appears before Sialwi, displaying his health, stamina, and skills. Sialwi notices his health and stamina have increased, even though he lacks key arts. He remembers something. Sialwi remembers the Manhwa master's stance. What kind of martial arts was it? A notification appears. He has obtained the white fluorescent demonic arts. Huh. A tools window appears. He now has medicinal herbs, a bar, and a map. This is new. The accept prompt hovers before Sialwi. He stares intensely, thinking how convenient. Sialwi smiles, accepting the map. Let's take a look, he says, unfolding it. Haha, the map of the Yellow Mountain. Sialwi examines a red bean bar in his hand. Nutritional bar, what's this? Sialwi bites into the nutritional bar, thinking hard. Could this give me the edge I need? Sialwi grins, taking another bite of the bar. It's tasty, he exclaims. He recovers +1 health. If I eat it all, +3 health, save it. A prompt appears. Would you like to put this back in the toolbox? Sialwi laughs. A notification confirms the item is stored. Sialwi grins, thinking, then great. Sialwi gets up, ready to start his new life. I should get going. Sialwi arrives at the Chenil library on the 12th floor. Earth Demon, leader of Flying Assassin Squad, wants him. Sialwi hears a voice. It asks him, who did you say you are? The man acknowledges Sialwi's status. He asks why Sialwi has come looking for him specifically. The man continues, claiming to have information that will help Sialwi become a great leader. Sialwi hears come in. He is about to meet Earth Demon. The scene shifts. He enters the room, ready to learn about becoming a great leader. The Earth Demon smirks, finding Sialwi's eagerness quite amusing. What will he say next? Sialwi looks towards the man and asks what information he has to offer. The Earth Demon holds out a scroll, eyes hidden. He asks, what is this? The Earth Demon says you will know once you read it. He is eager for Sialwi's reaction. As Sialwi reaches for it, Earth Demon thinks to himself about the incoming change. Earth Demon asks with a new serious tone, is this certain? As Sialwi looks on. Sialwi cries out, I swear on my life. The Earth Demon replies, what is your life to me? The Earth Demon pauses, a speech bubble with ellipses hanging in the air. The Earth Demon's question hangs in the air as Sialwi says, I too. As if 2 halves of one, thoughts of strength and trust flow like before. The Earth Demon's words echo as he rises, each step heavy with intent. What will he do? Earth Demon unfurls the scroll slowly. He states if this information here is correct. Earth Demon smiles, ominously stating, I'll give you what you want. The Chenil Library, a majestic structure, houses the Earth Demon and untold secrets. 3 hours pass since the Earth Demon left to confirm the information. It has to go well. The voice is speaking of authorities in Demon Academy, temples, courts, societies, all in politics. The text reveals, the first disciple, the Blood Demon, he's here. Danger approaches. The Earth Demon confirms, asking if Sialwi is who he claims to be. Earth Demon needs to confirm if he's speaking to the real deal, save or reset. A screen appears before Sialwi offering save in with empty save files. Why is this suddenly? A new screen appears, choose between these three options. Which path will Sialwi choose? The Blood Demon appears before Sialwi, the two stand face to face. Danger. Sialwi sweats thinking this is. Below him a new battle looms on the horizon, each choice. The screen says next stage, as Sialwi's difficult choice looms ahead. Sialhwi is presented with three choices to change his destiny. Sialhwi stares intensely at the options before him, considering his choice. He realizes increasing his power doesn't guarantee his survival. This path involves Elder Nok Yung Kwan, ranked 94th. The game warns of Elder Nok Yung Kwan's fiery personality. Sialhwi realizes he might be crippled if it's him. The game says this path's difficulty is much higher. It's unsettling. The game confirms his choice, Earth Demon's Core Warrior. Let's go for the easiest one. The deep voice of someone in the cult echoes, that is all right too. Sialhwi decides survival is his top priority in any situation he's in. Sialhwi thanks his benefactor who dismisses it, but they have something else to ask of him. The benefactor shares a book, 3 Primary Excellences, for potentially useful martial arts. He wonders if he has seen textbook on the 3 Primary Excellences before. He realizes he knows what the 3 Primary Excellences is. Prepare in 6 days. Sialhwi weeps, realizing the weight of what he must accomplish in 6 days. As someone approaches, Sialhwi grins despite his exhaustion, clutching the textbook on the 3 Primary Excellences. Sialhwi is in the Chenil library basement, books levitating around him. It was around here somewhere. Sialhwi is shocked to see the skill menu has already unlocked new arts. With his new skills unlocked, Sialhwi exclaims his excitement. Yes. He stares intensely at the book, determined to master all the new arts. Sialhwi notes there's no in-game prompt this time. It's a hands-on demonic art. Sialhwi concentrates, a spectral form with burning hair manifesting before him. As he finishes saying it's nice to see them, he notices a burning sensation. Sialhwi feels a burning sensation as the demonic art manifests fully. His hands ignite with flame, the demonic art of the fiery fist. It burns fiercely. The fiery fist demonic art fully takes hold, consuming the room in an explosion of fire. Despite the pain, Sialhwi laughs, finally wielding the power he craved. He understands the power of the fiery fist demonic arts which are destructive. Next is. A voice echoes, revealing this demonic art belongs to the Lord of Supreme Court. Sialhwi laughs maniacally, confident in his ability to learn these new, powerful martial arts techniques. Sialhwi smirks confidently, knowing he must prepare with the 6 days he has left. He proudly declares he is ready to begin training, sword in hand. Sialhwi exhales heavily, catching his breath among the books in the Chenil library basement. Sialhwi realizes he hasn't fully mastered the arts due to low internal energy. He affirms that he will be able to master the demonic arts and use them properly. Let's continue to do this. Military Admission Day. A new chapter begins as Sialhwi enters military training. Sialhwi confidently declares, I'm done train. He's ready for the military admission day. An imposing figure stands before Sialhwi, questioning his presence. Are you Sialhwi? Before Sialhwi can ask, Geo Woon says the Earth Demon tasked him to take him to the military and hands him an object. Sialhwi is shocked as he receives a message about the immortal pill. It's an elixir. Geo realizes his internal energy is only worth 3 years. How can I accept this valuable elixir? Geo Woon gives Sialhwi the immortal pill, stating, do not reject it, you'll need it. Sialhwi prepares for military admission. He feels immense pressure from the upcoming event. Sialhwi is surprised by his luck, noting his internal energy increased significantly. Sialhwi thinks it's because of the increased stamina that he has more power. The game announces CLHWI can now see other people's status windows. CLHWI surprised utters huh as he looks up at Geo Woon's face. Geo eyes widen in disbelief. The voice earlier was Geo Woon's, and no way. CLHWI sees a status window appear above Geo Woon, double agent spy. CLHWI follows Geo Woon through the forest, wondering what the future holds. CLHWI is shocked, realizing Geo Woon is a spy. This can't be. CLHWI realizes that if Geo Woon is a spy, he has an advantage over the Earth Demon. Geo Woon declares he is done escorting CLHWI to his destination. Geo Woon and CLHWI pause deep in thought. What will they do next? The adventure unfolds. CLHWI thinks about the flying dragon pill, despite the recent immortal pill. The game prompts CLHWI with a new question. Is there something you wish to tell me? CLHWI follows Geo Woon, the forest silent around them. Where are they going? Geo Woon stops, thinking about CLHWI. What? Is there something I should tell him? Geo Woon stops and asks a serious question. Not something you wish to tell me. Juk Myung stares down Seolhui, demanding, is there not something you wish to tell me? Juk Myung is shocked by Seolhui's lack of response. What? Juk Myung questions Seolhui further, pressing him on his strange reaction to the news. Juk Myung is confused by Seolhui's silence, demanding to know by what. An ominous figure looms above. The Earth Demon should know how skilled I am. Seolhui's mind races as his captain, Juk Myung, watches and waits for a response. He is gifted a short sword that will make him feel unusually good. Seolhui laughs maniacally, grasping the short sword, as Juk Myung explains the military is only for the elite. A voice booms in Seolhui's head, telling him how to become stronger. Juk Myung warns Seolhui to never forget to thank him. Seolhui agrees meekly. Seolhui steps through the enormous gates to the military headquarters. With a bead of sweat on his face, Seolhui walks towards his destination, the military headquarters. Seolhui, unsure of the sword's power, wonders, he seems like a good guy. Seolhui examines his new sword, thinking, it'll be complicated if I get caught with something this nice. A notification appears, stating Seolhui successfully stored the sword. Seolhui's expression hardens as he states confidently, let's go. The sound of silence fills the air as Seolhui prepares to make his next move. A title card introduces an instructor. Seolhui is about to get trained. An instructor states, those who receive command to instruct are not to be looked down upon. Seolhui affirms Juk Myung's words. Then a disembodied voice tells him to choose one. A voice explains based on the characters, it means corpus, eloquence, writing, and judgment. An instructor mumbles to himself about the different excellences and their deeper meanings. The instructor tells Seolhui he will have to master all 4 skills anyway. Seolhui states, and then I'll go with this. The instructor responds, so you've chosen Shin. The instructor instructs Seolhui to collect 6 more bamboo pieces with Shin on them. He has only 1 day. The instructor says he can return through the door. It holds everything from books to treasures. Seolhui stands stoically. A voice echoes in his head, you will get anything. A voice commands Seolhui to go immediately, as he swiftly navigates the corridors. The instructor is ready to begin the training for Seolhui's first day. As Seolhui walks forward, he wonders if others had the same chances. Seolhui thinks, I must obtain the 6 bamboo pieces from them. Seolhui's eyes widen as an exclamation mark pops in his thought bubble. Seolhui steels his resolve, the weight of his mission settling upon him. It's time to begin. Looking at the buildings, Seolhui believes the longer he searches, the better his chance of finding items. Seolhui realizes, however, it also increases the chances that I disclose my location. Seolhui hardens his resolve, promising himself, I must survive and become stronger no matter what. Seolhui wonders if he came too soon. He can't detect anyone nearby at the moment. For now, I'll go over there. Seolhui sprints through the area, determined to gather the bamboo pieces quickly. Seolhui, now in a blur of motion, speeds toward the towering training grounds. Xiaohui uses his new sword for the first time, slicing through the air. Xiaohui swings with incredible speed. His expression reveals an intense focus on the task at hand. Xiaohui sighs in relief, whispering, "Phew. Thank goodness no one." He is then interrupted by the sound of footsteps. A warning appears. An unidentified enemy has found Xiaohui's weak point. How will he proceed? Xiaohui is shocked that someone has found his weak point. He must decide what to do. Xiaohui has been given a choice. He has chosen to flee. Xiaohui leaps off the roof, preparing to evade the incoming attack. Xiaohui realizes he is moving again, even as he wants to stop. My body is acting on its own. Xiaohui is in shock as he is now wide-eyed at whatever is coming towards him. Xiaohui launches into a powerful attack, using all of his strength. Xiaohui screams, feeling the impact of the enemy's powerful attack. The fight has just begun. Xiaohui collapses to the ground. "Ah, that's too bad," he thinks. The enemy says, "I could have killed you before you noticed me." Xiaohui gets a notification that his body is in normal conditions. His stats have changed. The unnamed enemy smiles menacingly as Xiaohui grunts in pain from the sudden strike. A Manhwa sect member stands, smiling sadistically, as Xiaohui bleeds onto the ground. Xiaohui's health drops further. He can only manage a pained erg. He thinks, "I was lucky, but this wound still isn't something to take lightly." Guzhang Mayang smiles cruelly and declares, "Let's not waste any more time." Mayang grips his sword, sweat dripping. He knows he's outmatched, badly injured. Xiaohui notes his own stats. Health 680-680 and internal energy 475-50. A bright flash blinds Xiaohui as he collapses, another member approaching. Guzhang Mayang attacks Xiaohui with a brilliant flash of sword energy. The narrator describes the white in white fluorescent demonic arts as standing for frigidity. Zhang screams, seemingly unharmed. Guzhang Mayang shouts, "Why is my body like this?" confused by his weakening. Guzhang Mayang is covered in sweat and looks scared, as Xiaohui charges at him with his sword. Guzhang Mayang falls to the ground, defeated, as Xiaohui stands behind him. Xiaohui stands triumphant, his blade dripping with blood, his enemy defeated. Xiaohui thinks, "And I do not miss the opportunity, even if I only imitate it." Xiaohui, covered in blood, thinks, "I'm still incomparably faster and stronger." Xiaohui sees his status window. Health 101-205, internal energy 1222-50 is shown. Xiaohui sits in the grass, bleeding and hurt. "I feel the realness of death." Xiaohui grabs a cylindrical green item. He was carrying the corpus bamboo, as I expected. A game notification appears. "You have gained 1 golden potion." Xiaohui smiles. He grins, thinking it's a gift from the gods. A quiet building stands surrounded by trees. Xiaohui must recover here. Xiaohui sits leaning against a cabinet. He groans in pain and wraps his scarf around a wound. Xiaohui's health continues to drop and he thinks, "If things keep going like this." Xiaohui is hesitant. "I want to use the golden potion, but I must be careful." An ominous thought bubble appears. "I have to kill those assholes first." Xiaohui notices medicinal herbs +1 and wonders, "I can just use this, right?" The game alerts him, "You have used medicinal herbs." His health increases slightly. Xiaohui smiles slyly, holding the medicinal herbs, "So I can apply it this way." Xiaohui hears movement nearby and his eyes widen in alarm. Someone is approaching the small building. His breathing heavy, Xiaohui thinks, "I'll have to think of something." Someone has kicked the door down. Xiaohui now needs to face whoever is there. A figure stands silhouetted in the doorway, an ominous sign of trouble for Xiaohui. Xiaohui peeks around the door, tears in his eyes, thinking, "Is he?" A man wonders, "Chiak Ho." The narrator explains the 7 squads under the Lord of the Supreme Court. A text box appears to say, "Chiak Ho is the head of the Black Fire Squad." Xiaohui thinks his skills are far superior to mine. He realizes he must kill him in 1 blow. A text box shows a weak point that inflicts heavy damage as Xiaohui wonders if he can use it. He sighs, "I don't know how to trigger it." Chiak Ho thinks anyone can see that he has his guard down. He wonders, why isn't it popping up? Chiak Ho thinks to think I was the only one equipped with this. Xiaolhui sees a prompt, attack, use martial arts or use a tool, only 9 seconds remain. Xiaolhui stares at the options and thinks, something did pop up but these options are a first for me again. Which one should I choose? Chiak Ho drinks from a large container. Is he preparing for a fight? A game notification appears. Xiaolhui chose to attack, going back 3 seconds, he thinks to be safe. Chiak Ho's thoughts reveal his arrogance, to think I was the only one equipped with this. Xiaolhui smirks, realizing how the game mechanic functions. So it was something like this, huh? The artist shows motion lines as Xiaolhui launches towards Chiak Ho with a sword. Chiak Ho is falling backwards through the doorway, defeated by Xiaolhui's sudden attack. The sound effects show Chiak Ho's pained scream as he is launched into the air by Xiaolhui's attack. Chiak Ho clutches the fatal wound as blood spurts. A maniacal grin spreads across his face. Chiak Ho is defeated, blood pouring from his mouth. A game notification displays his health at 0.1685. Chiak Ho lies bleeding as Xiaolhui smirks maniacally. Haha, he says, now realizing his potential. Xiaolhui stands over the body, victorious, a bubble showing I did it. Xiaolhui rummages through Chiak Ho's body, finding 5 bamboo pieces. Not only that. Xiaolhui is shocked at the updated menu system. Oh, it changed to a more convenient format. Xiaolhui health is restored by the golden potion. The changes immediately start to appear. Xiaolhui exclaims, great, my pain is completely gone. The potion works. Xiaolhui sees heavenly silver breastplate and wonders, will this equip immediately? Xiaolhui looks down at his chest, where the heavenly silver breastplate now sits. Xiaolhui tries to understand the new gear. It doesn't equip immediately. He thinks it hides the armor. A game notification pops up that an unidentified enemy has found his weak point. Xiaolhui cries, realizing he is in deep trouble, regretting lowering his guard. The ominous figure is silhouetted. Xiaolhui thinks, I don't know my opponent, but it's too reckless. Another body lies dead at Xiaolhui's feet. Is he strong enough to survive? Evil energy hangs in the air above Xiaolhui, standing near Chiak Ho's corpse. Xiaolhui is surprised, his mind racing as the unknown person has used a skill. Xiaolhui and the ominous figure clash in a blinding burst of energy. Xiaolhui falls, clutching his chest in pain from the massive damage he's taken. Xiaolhui is losing blood fast. His health stat is dropping to a mere 39 out of 205. Xiaolhui realizes it would have been hard to stop the attack. Xiaolhui reflects, the sword didn't go through, did I underestimate him? The imposing figure in the doorway speaks to Xiaolhui, you. The mysterious figure eyes Xiaolhui, you must be wearing equipment, huh? The narrator states that Xiaolhui's new opponent is much stronger than Chiak Ho. Xiaolhui sees his stats, health and internal energy are much higher now than those I have fought before. Now in Chapter 15 of Heavenly Demon Cultivation, Xiaolhui's journey continues. The fight against Oma continues, his swift attacks leave destruction in their wake. Of all things, Xiaolhui realizes Oma's strength is far beyond his own limits. Even Juk Mayung and Chiak Ho would struggle. Defeating him would be difficult, but furthermore, he suddenly gains another life. Xiaolhui is shocked that Oma with such power only has one life. Oma smiles, what are you rolling your eyes for? You're going to die anyway. Xiaolhui can only think, I worked hard in this life too. Oma looks on at the dying Xiaolhui. As Xiaolhui thinks it's unfair, Oma looks down and says, what are you muttering? Xiaolhui, defeated, thinks, everything feels like shit, I lived and died again. Xiaolhui laments the vast difference in power, calling it unfair. Oma sneers, you've gone crazy. Oma, gripping his sword, admits he's gone crazy even if he dies. Xiaolhui, in a fit of rage, shouts out that he'll struggle as much as he can. But just then, Xiaolhui starts glowing with a familiar energy, white fluorescent demonic arts. Oma sees Xiaolhui glowing and scoffs, as if nothing has changed. Oma swings with deadly force. Xiaolhui parries at the last moment. Xiaolhui's body is battered, but he cries out in defiance as his eyes glow brightly. Their blades meet, a burst of light erupting between them from the clash. The clash of their blades created a powerful shockwave, shaking the area. Xiaohui groans from the impact as he lands on the ground. The white fluorescent demonic arts was not enough. Despite the power-up, Xiaohui is on the ground again, coughing blood. He thinks, what? Xiaohui's status is shown, health and internal energy decreasing. He thinks, just what type? Xiaohui tastes blood, realizing the difference in skill. This is the difference. Despite the overwhelming odds, Xiaohui thinks, might be worth a try. It is a martial art more suited to women that uses extreme qi. However, it's so powerful. From the freezing fluorescent demonic arts, other martial arts have been created. Xiaohui realizes he thought the white fluorescent arts was one of those skills. Xiaohui realizes he's activated the freezing fluorescent demonic arts too easily. Oma grits his teeth in anticipation. Xiaohui's internal energy is depleting rapidly. He thinks, my attack succeeded but things don't look good. Oma leaps into the air, ready to deliver the final blow on Xiaohui. Oma's attack connects, the strike sends a burst of chilling energy. Oma midair prepares his final strike. Getting up to his speed is not easy. Suddenly, Oma can see the energy surrounding him. What will he do? Oma coughs, feeling the bite of the chill. Xiaohui lies defeated. Enraged, Oma shouts for Xiaohui to stop fooling around. What will Xiaohui do next? The attack was successful, but the recoil is intense. Xiaohui coughs, puke. With Xiaohui's health at 19, Oma comments, you lasted quite long with your little tricks. As Xiaohui lies defeated, Oma smiles. I guess it wasn't enough to knock him down. Xiaohui sees a notification that his white fluorescent demonic arts has increased. It's only at beginner level. Will I be okay? The narrator exclaims that Xiaohui is ready to do anything he can to overcome the odds. He's flung high in the air, barely conscious. Can Xiaohui overcome this seemingly impossible challenge? Oma coughs up blood. The chilling attack has clearly wounded him, but has he won? But then Xiaohui realizes he's gotten a lot faster. Can he win? Xiaohui grits his teeth. If it's like this, then he prepares for a final stand. From Xiaohui's perspective, the world spins as he loses consciousness. Is this the end? Xiaohui and Oma clash, the chilling energy swirling around them. Is this the end? Xiaohui and Oma stand their ground, seemingly reaching the climax. Oma is shocked and asks how Xiaohui managed to do that. Xiaohui is speechless but seemingly aware. The platform starts crumbling as the dust settles and he gets up. The perfect opportunity arises. Xiaohui has found Oma's weakness. How will he proceed? Amidst the chaos, Xiaohui sees a familiar game menu appear. Can he turn this to his advantage? Xiaohui knows it's unclear if he can win, but resolves to attack this time. Xiaohui sees the martial arts menu. 3 choices appear before him. A blue haze surrounds him. He's on the ground, defeated. Is this truly the end? Oma prepares to strike Xiaohui, but the system warns flaming vermilion palm is currently in use. Despite the odds, Xiaohui is still fighting. He prepares to unleash a new attack. Xiaohui's health plummets to 0, the notification signaling a dire situation. Xiaohui's status window shows his health is nearly gone. Is this truly game over for him? Coughing, Xiaohui realizes he was able to knock Oma down. Close call. Defeated and injured, Xiaohui resolves himself and thinks, I should get going. As the dust settles, the sun begins to set. What lies ahead?